Final learning target for Unit 4 is Learning Target 6. This video is for students at Grant County Middle School in the 6th grade who are preparing for the Unit 4 test. I'll try to make this short and sweet. It's about one thing and one thing only, and that's your ability to identify a push and pull factor and how they influence the migration streams that come to developed countries like the United States. And on your study guide, if you look, you've got a study guide like this. There's a nice chart that goes over the push and pull factors. If you look at pull factors, these are generally all good things. These are reasons why people would come to the United States. This would include education, the opportunity to go to school, learn more, develop a skill. Lots of people come here for that. The second one would be an economic opportunity, also known as a job. Whenever you get a job, that's a pretty big deal. Here in the United States, you can get whatever job you want as long as you develop the skills to get that job. Another one would be freedom in the United States and as well as a lot of other developed countries. You have the freedom to do things, and that's what people want. They want choice. Another one would be to reunite with family members that have already come over here. Somehow, some way they were the lucky ones, or maybe they were trailblazers in coming over here. So that's another pull factor. And then land. There's a lot more room here in the new world than there is in the old world as far as availability. And a lot of times throughout history, especially, immigration has been promoted through land giveaways. And so the opportunity to own your own land and use it for your own purpose has always been a big drawback. So pull factors are usually good things, and that's one way to be able to describe them. Now we move on to the bad. Sorry to end on a bad note, but here we go with push factors. These are things that would cause people to be pushed out of a country. Reasons to leave. The top one is probably the easiest one, and that would be war or a violent conflict of some kind. Generally, whenever you have war, you generate refugees. These refugees are seeking safety. And so the push factor is the violence, the threat of your own death, the threat of losing your own home. All of these things cause you to leave. These are all bad things. Next one would be poverty, which is a fancy 6th grade word for poor. You simply don't have enough money, and you're sick and tired of being in the situation you're at. For most of us throughout our family ancestries, if we look back at the person who first immigrated to the United States, whether that be your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, or even generations before that, this is probably the reason why they came over here. They wanted to improve their quality of life in the United States, and so the push factor of being poor where they were is the deal. Next would be hunger, which is related to poverty, because generally when you are poor, you're also going to be hungry. But sometimes this could be related to a natural disaster, which is also listed at the bottom. Maybe a drought has caused a problem in your neighborhood and you all can't grow food, or a plant disease or a blight, which what took place in Ireland and caused the potato famine in the 1840s and such. And so there's a lot of things that go on here. These are generally all bad, and also, not to leave it last, doesn't mean it's least, would be religious persecution. Again, example there would be related to Thanksgiving coming up, would be the Pilgrims. These people were pushed out of where they were coming from because they weren't allowed to worship the way they wanted to. And so if you look over that chart and you can identify what's a good thing and what's a bad thing, then all you need to know is push factors are usually bad. They push you away. Pull factors are good, and pull factors usually, I relate to a pull factor to a hug, which means it's a good thing. So once you establish that fact, it's pretty easy to understand why people would leave one place and go to another. Good luck on the Unit 4 test, guys.